walk this earth like a god.
You scared? What? You scared? What? You scared? What? Kicking in the door, I make the bitches hit the floor for keys. Yeah.
Travis Scotty here, and I'm back with some more boxing. It's looking like Keith one-time Thurman is going to get the fight that he's been waiting for. The fight that he's been asking for all year, ever since Danny Garcia moved up to 147. He's going to actually get the fight with Danny Swift Garcia. Now, Danny Garcia recently announced his bum fight for, November the 12th? And, they started talking about the Keith Thurman fight immediately. And I thought that it was all bullshit until I got to doing, some research on these little articles and shit and reading in between the lines, just trying to figure it out because they've been saying this, but I don't always believe what these motherfuckers say, man. They be lying, man. Y'all just all of a sudden, y'all announce a bum fight for Danny Garcia and now he's going to give us this big fight. I don't believe these motherfuckers, man. And, I heard a couple channels saying that the fight was official. I haven't seen any links. I couldn't find any articles saying that it was official. But let me get into a couple statements, man. First, from the article that I read yesterday from BoxingScene.com, they said his manager, meaning Danny Garcia's manager, Al Heyman, was applying a lot of pressure on him to face Thurman in the fall. Because of his inactivity, Garcia wanted at least one tune-up fight before moving forward with a unification against Thurman, a fight reportedly agreed to for early 2017. And like I told y'all yesterday, I was like, man, since when do Al Heyman apply pressure on his fighters to make fights? But you know what? I think I take that back, man, because I believe Al Heyman forced Adrian Broner into fighting Sean Porter. I don't know if Broner would have took that fight on his own. I don't think he would have took that fight. So I think it was Heyman that actually forced that fight. So this could be true. And let me get into Danny Garcia's statement today. Danny Garcia stated, "My dad and I wanted to get one more fight in before the end of the year, and there was no doubt in my mind that it had to be in Philadelphia. I'm gearing up for a big fight with Keith Thurman next year that's going to be a can't-miss event. First, I'm going to fight my fight for my city on November the 12th." Danny Garcia's statement. Now, he's saying that he got a big fight coming up with Keith Thurman next year. Yesterday, they saying that, Al Heyman was applying pressure on him to make the Keith Thurman fight. So, this is sounding like it's true, man. A lot of people has already accepted this as a fact. Me, not so quick because I've been lied to. You know how it is, man, as a boxing fan. You get so hyped up for these fights and then you get your heart broken shit. So it's kind of hard for me to get excited for these motherfucking fights, man. But I think that we're going to actually get to see that fight. It's going to be a interesting fight. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be an entertaining fight. It's not a fight that I'm really crazy for, though, because I don't really think it's going to be too competitive. Even though it's going to be two undefeated world champions. As much as I hate to say it, y'all know I'm a Keith Thurman hater. But as much as I hate to say this shit, man, Keith Thurman gonna beat the shit out of Danny Garcia. I'd rather see Danny Garcia fight Adrian the Problem Broner, and I'd rather see Keith Thurman fight Errol Spence or Kell Brook. Another strong welterweight, man, because, Danny Garcia, I think he only had a couple fights. He fought Paulie and he fought Guerrero. And then he's gonna fight this guy, Samuel Vargas. So there's gonna be 3 fights at the weight. I guess that's enough time to get you used to the weight, man, but he's still new to the division compared to Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is a career welterweight, and even early in his career, he was fighting above welterweight. Flat-footed Danny ain't gonna have no chance in that fight, man. He gonna get his ass whooped. It's gonna be clear. Lamont Peterson, he had some success in that fight with Danny Garcia. He was piecing him up, but 1 minute he want to come forward, the next minute he want to run. You know what I'm saying? And it's yeah, a lot of people say you got robbed, but you did take off running a lot in that fight. Danny Garcia was the aggressor, but, Keith Thurman can fight coming forward. He can fight going backwards. He's quick. He's strong. A good counterpuncher. You name it. Keith Thurman really is the best welterweight I mean, you know, Errol Spence is still coming up, man. But right now, out of all of the guys that we got, Keith Thurman is probably like the #1 welterweight in the world. And they're going to force Danny Garcia to take that fight. I guess they got tired of Keith Thurman fighting over-the-hill Hispanic fighters. And they got tired of Danny Garcia fighting Rod Salkas. You know, maybe that statement that Angel Garcia made kind of woke Al Heyman up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Look at what I created. You know, I mean, I'm trying to look out for these fighters, and they taking advantage of me. You know, they're not even motivated to make the big fights now. It's like, you know, I give you the money, but now you don't want to deliver the product that I'm paying you for. You want to take the money still, but you're not delivering big fights. I didn't think they cared, to be honest. I didn't think PBC gave a shit. As long as they were still getting money from the live gate and then the TV audience, I didn't think they gave a shit. You know, whether these guys fight each other, the top fighters, or they just, you know, cherry pick and shit, fight solid opponents. You know, it's a big name in the fight, so hey, people gonna tune in. You know, I don't know exactly like if this is really good for business. You know, unless they put this shit on like Showtime pay-per-view. Because just think about it, man. I mean, I guess we'd still be watching both fighters, right? But both of these fighters get at least 2 million viewers on free TV by themselves. You know, so it's going to have to hurt the fighter that loses the fight, right? You know, it's just natural. You know, these fighters, they undefeated world champions, and then one of them get their ass whooped, and then it's like, you know, less people are going to be interested in that fighter. I mean, it could happen. It could be a war, and both fighters' stock could go up. It could be a one-sided beatdown. And if that happens, and Danny Garcia is the recipient of a one-sided beatdown, he won't be forgiven, man, because he's been cherry-picking too long. You know, I mean, he got one of the best resumes in boxing, but he hasn't done shit for us lately. You know, y'all know boxing is a what have you done for me lately sport. What the fuck has Danny Garcia done for us lately? Let's see. He fought Robert Guerrero, 9-10 months ago. Been out of the ring all year. And they put the vacant WBC title on the line for that fight. First, it was supposed to be a part of an eliminator, and Berto and Lamont Peterson was supposed to be the other half of the eliminator. And then they just put the full belt on the line for that fight. In the Robert Guerrero fight, you know, I mean, it was a decent matchup, you know what I'm saying? But not too many people really gave Robert Guerrero a chance at winning that fight. Before that, Danny Garcia fought Paulie Malignaggi. That was his first fight at 147 pounds, but still, he could have still fought a better fighter, man, or, you know, a fighter with a little bit more standing, because Paulie Malignaggi hadn't fought for a whole year, and he was coming off of the worst loss of his professional career. You know, he got knocked out, in like the 5th against Sean Porter. He had been commentating full time. He didn't even really have a decent training camp for that fight. He had to commentate. You know, they were saying that he was jogging outside of the venue and shit in between fights. Like, what kind of goofy shit is this? You know, and before that, he got his ass whooped by Lamont Peterson. And before that, he fought Rod Salka. I mean, Danny Garcia hasn't been doing shit. And boxing fans have a real short memory, man. You know, it's almost like if you look horrible in your last fight, they say that you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You like damn near a bum. That's kind of like how boxing fans be looking at shit nowadays. Now, if you look amazing against a great fighter in your next fight, it's like, damn, maybe something was wrong with him, or he's back. Like, you know, that's the way it is in boxing, man. But this cherry picking shit from Danny Garcia has been going on too long. So if he get his ass whooped in a one-sided, non-competitive fight, it's going to be ugly for his career, man. And I think that shit going to happen. And then guess what? Keith one-time Thurman is going to be the unified champion at 147. It's like, you know, it's coming true. It's coming to life now. You know, they was always like talking about this guy like he was the future of the welterweight division. I remember Teddy Atlas used to say that shit. I'm like, man, fuck this motherfucker. All he do is fight over the hill Hispanic fighters. You know, and then he fought Collazo. And, you know, Thurman was worried going into that fight saying, hey, you know, I'm running a chance of being considered a hype job. Guess what he went out there and did? He went out there and got hurt up in Tampa and had to run for dear life. Y'all know what round that was. The 5th motherfucking round. You know what I'm saying? He got hit with that motherfucking body shot. Boy had to take off running, man. Shit real. You know what I'm saying? When shit get real out there, sometimes you got to take the fuck off, man. And that's what he did, but he didn't go down. So props to Keith Thurman for not going down in that fight, man. And then he stopped fighting, man. He didn't fight for a whole year. And then he fought Porter, which was a really good fight. But he made us wait a year. It was a lot of bullshit leading up to that fight that was pissing me off. And then he took the rest of this year off. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman has been an inactive fighter. You know, if he fight Danny Garcia for that belt, and now you got 2 belts, don't be trying to keep this, you know, this shit up again, man. Fighting once a year. Motherfuckers want to see you in the ring. See you beating some ass, man. Not all this bullshit, man, but, yo, it's looking like we're going to get that fight. We're going to get Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia. Y'all excited about that fight? I mean, are y'all really? I mean, this is 2 big names. Don't get me wrong, man. These are 2. I think Danny Garcia is like the biggest name at 147. Keith Thurman might have something to say about that if you look at his ratings. But, you know, Danny Garcia is doing good numbers at the gate. He's doing really good numbers on TV. Keith Thurman is doing really good numbers on TV. But Danny Garcia has been in more big fights than Keith Thurman. So, you know, I mean, this is like 2 of the biggest names at welterweight, man, going at it. But I just don't see it as a competitive fight. You know, I mean, I can't wait to see it. But it's kind of like, I feel like I know what's going to happen. So it kind of makes me not even really excited to see the fight. Like I told y'all before, man, I would love to see Danny Garcia fight Broner. That's like, you know, he's on his level, man. Danny Garcia is a great fighter, man. But, you know, Keith Thurman is just, you know, he's just that much better than Danny Garcia. He's stronger, faster. It's just like, you know, Danny Garcia moved kind of slow around the ring, man. You know, he ain't going to be able to do shit. I think Sean Porter will fuck Danny Garcia up. Y'all know, like, all of those guys at 147 was trying to fight Danny Garcia when he moved up. All of them. Porter, Thurman, Spence, you name it. They was trying to fight him. But, you know, I will be looking forward to this fight just because it'll be a big fight. But, you know, I kind of feel like I know what's going to happen, so it kind of take away from it. But one thing seems like it's for sure. It seemed like we really going to get to see that fight. I'm Travis Gotti. Thank you for tuning in to Travis Gotti Boxing. Subscribe.
I gotta go fucking with you.